Are AI stormtroopers killing content creation? How will one person build a billion-dollar business without any human employees? To Drake's recent album preview, The Future of Online Money. Is a Harvard degree now worthless? We're going to answer all these questions and more as I reveal 6 structural shifts happening right now that are changing how people make money online. Shift 1. Geography is no longer a hiring barrier. To understand the shift, let's ask this question. Can a $20 an hour worker in India replace a Google engineer that's making over $300K in the United States? At my tech agency, I hired both, and the $20 developer from India was dominating the Google engineer. So it made no sense for me to pay someone in the US that was more expensive and not as effective. Now, this isn't just for technical talent. Businesses are hiring international workers for as little as $3 an hour to work for them today to replace local workers. Now, what does this all have to do with you? Well, 2 things. First, you need to understand that there is now global competition in the workforce. And yes, overseas work isn't new, but it has drastically changed. AI now eliminates the language and educational barriers. Before AI, hiring overseas often meant trading quality for cost, but AI has leveled the playing field completely. So now it often comes down to work ethic, and international employees often beat US-based employees. And number 2 is that smart companies and entrepreneurs are catching on to this, call it an arbitrage opportunity, but not everyone is aware. So there's still a massive opportunity to leverage international team members to help scale your time. Now, if this sounds too good to be true, here's how I personally did it. First, I go to onlinejobs.ph, I post a job that I'm looking to hire for. Then I get multiple candidates to do the same exact test project with an exact delivery timeline, and I time box their activity. For example, I tell them this should take no longer than 2 hours. I make sure to pay them for it so they know that I'm serious and they take the work seriously. Whoever delivers on time with quality work gets hired. But that's just the first of 6 massive structural shifts that are reshaping how money gets made online and creating huge opportunities. And by the end of this video, you'll have tactical advice on how you can capitalize on all of these shifts. The second shift is that creative work is now getting democratized. Regular people with AI tools are replacing creative directors making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and this couldn't be accelerating faster. Take a look at this viral stormtrooper content that has been blowing up everywhere. This isn't created by Disney with a massive film crew and hundreds of thousands of dollars for budget. Instead, it's created by someone in their bedroom with AI tools and 0 Hollywood connections. Now, I broke down this exact trend months ago before it started taking off, so this shouldn't surprise you. Of course, if you're subscribed, hit that button. But here's what's crazy. This shift is happening everywhere, and it's accelerating fast. So the question is, are AI stormtroopers killing content creation? In some ways, yes. It's the end of content creation as we know it, but it's most certainly not the end, as top creators are embracing it. For example, Travis Scott leveraged AI for creative direction in his recent campaign. Alex Hormozi uses AI to generate his marketing content at scale. It's a new shift, and everyone from individual creators, top artists, and serial entrepreneurs are all using the same playbook. But you have to start acting aggressively. And I'm not just talking about stormtrooper vlog videos. AI is democratizing professional ad generation, organic social media, creating influencers, and it's a game changer for the entire creative industry. So let's just go through the example. How could you create a stormtrooper video today? Go to ChatGPT and write a prompt that looks something like this. This creates a base prompt for you to build off of. Then use ChatGPT to create a prompt off of this. Here's what you can say to ChatGPT, and this will generate a full prompt that you can then bring to VO3 to generate a video. Paste the prompt and dialogue into the text field. Change the model to VO3 fast, text to video, and then hit generate. And then in seconds, you've created professional looking Star Wars content that would have cost Disney millions to produce with traditional methods. This is just one method. I dive deeply into this in other videos on my channel, but you can use tools like Higgsfield to generate professional looking ads. You can use tools like HeyGen to create your own AI influencer. And what makes you so powerful is that you can create high quality results in minutes and hours instead of weeks. And it doesn't require years of experience. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Content creation is changing in real time, quicker than almost any industry. This shift impacts content creators, creative agencies, any business with an online presence, because anyone can do it from their bedroom. That's the second shift, and there should be a pattern emerging here. So first, AI removed location barriers. Now it's removing skill barriers. But here's where this gets a little bit dangerous. If everyone can create Hollywood content, How do you stay ahead? This goes to our third shift. Your competitive advantage has an expiration date. Something scary is happening. We're seeing this time and time again. Someone builds a SaaS tool, gets traction, and boom, within 2 weeks, there are AI-built clones with 90% of the features at 1/10 the price. So is it worth starting a business if AI can just copy it? The answer is yes. It's actually never been better to start a business, and you'll understand why after I go through all 6 of these shifts because of the opportunities it's creating. But in order to understand that, you have to understand the importance of defensibility. Defensibility is what stops competitors from copying your business and stealing your customers. For example, let's look at Twitter. Sure, the product is great, but what's defensible is the vast network of users. You can copy and paste the app, look at Threads, what Instagram tried to do, but the users and network effect, you can't. So even though Instagram made a clone, Twitter still has all the traction. That's because the network was defensible. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's say you run a local plumber business. You have to be physically there to fix the issue. That's defensible. There are only so many people with the skill sets in the local area that you have to compete with. So here's a 2025 strategy for starting a business, knowing the truth about the competitive landscape. First, stop trying to build the perfect unique product behind closed doors. Use AI to build, try things out quickly, and iterate fast. Test your ideas in the real world. One of my favorite quotes ever is from the Coinbase CEO. He says, "Action produces information." Start acting and don't try and get it perfect, because even if you do, a copycat is right around the corner. Next, consider building in public. In short, this is the process of building an audience along for the ride of building the business. I dive deep on this in a video about how Peter Levels uses this to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but essentially it creates an emotional connection with the audience so they are interested in you, not just the product. Number 3 is build real relationships. At IYK, we're working in the music industry. So when we work with artists like Tate McRae, Chance the Rapper, this is as much about the product as it is about the relationships we have with their teams. In today's world, customer service is a competitive advantage. So lean into that and build your human-to-human connections. And actually something that's pretty awesome, right now we're going live with an Ed Sheeran drop. Check these things out. Pretty dope. This is our product. And that only happened because of the relationships we had, not necessarily the product. And the last thing is, how can you make your business more defensible? At IYK, we offer customers physical chips that give us defensibility because it's not just an app that you can copy and paste. For my girlfriend, she does in-person local therapy. So is there any creative way to make your business defensible? And the thing with defensibility, it doesn't have to be this crazy thing. Your experience can be a form of defensibility. For example, if you've gone viral on social media and gotten millions of views, that experience is something that you can offer. Others can't copy. And I wouldn't worry too much about this, but over time, think about how you can make your business better and more defensible. So after these 3 shifts, we've noticed a couple trends. First, barriers are getting eliminated. Anyone can build almost anything and your competitive advantage can disappear overnight. Which brings us to the next critical shift. Shift 4. Everyone has to become technical. I'm personally watching non-technical people become engineers in weeks. And as a software engineer, I could be frustrated that people are building in seconds, which took me years to learn. But instead, I'm excited because understanding even basic coding principles gives you a massive advantage in orchestrating AI and building tools in the near future. And for this reason, here's why understanding the basics of coding is the new Google search, and it's something that you have to learn. Think of it like this. I'm not saying you need to be a programmer, but you just need to understand the basics so you know how things connect and how they work. It's a lot like knowing how to drive without building the engine. If you have zero technical skills, using tools like N8N, which I'm going to cover later, may feel complicated. A lot like if you've never driven a car before. But if you even have the slightest technical understanding, you're going to be able to build out these complex workflows and unlock the power of AI. The difference is night and day. And this matters more than you think. Anthropic's CEO recently went viral for saying that in 2026, the first $1 billion business with 1 human employee will be created.
When do you think there'll be the first $1 billion company with 1 human employee?
2026.
Yeah, I absolutely buy that. Yeah.
And the person won't be afraid of having a baseline technical skills, and they're going to create an army of AI tools to work for them. So where do you start? Well, here are 4 prompts that will kickstart your learning journey. And if you have a technical understanding, these are still valuable. Prompt 1, this is all about understanding APIs. Prompt 2, this will give you database basics. Prompt 3, this is about learning logic and conditional thinking. Prompt 4 is about webhooks and triggers. Then once you throw this into ChatGPT, the game changer for me is learning by doing. And this is great when you're trying to learn anything. And so what I often prompt is outline a 10-minute step-by-step tutorial that allow me to get hands-on experience with this. You can see a ChatGPT combo here going back and forth. And part of what I'm outlining here is a new way to learn. Before I get into the 6th and final shift, I will outline how Drake's album launch previewed the future of making money online. This 5th shift is something that could cost people hundreds of thousands of dollars if they don't realize. Shift 5. Education has changed forever. It's worth answering a question from the open. Is a degree from Harvard worthless? Now, this section isn't coming from a place of hatred. I was objectively good at school. I graduated college with a 4.0. I interviewed at Harvard Business School. I was pretty good at it, but there's a trend you can't ignore. My current company, IYK, hired me as the COO without ever seeing my resume. They hired me based on what I could produce, not where I went to school. And this isn't just tech startups. More than half of the jobs in the United States have no educational requirement. This includes companies like Google, Apple, and Bank of America. And the reason people can learn online, and AI has made this 10 times easier and made it 100 times cheaper and quicker. And as a result, in real time, you're seeing the traditional educational system collapse. Now, what does this mean for you? Number 1, learning is entirely democratized. Nothing stops you from building any business anymore. Number 2, before paying for tuition, ask yourself what specific outcome do you want, and then find the most direct path for that. For example, when I was scaling my agency, I needed to learn how to scale my agency. So I spent $10K on a course that did exactly that and ended up returning over $100,000 in profit due to clients that I was able to get from lessons I learned there. I didn't go and get an MBA and spend years and hundreds of thousands of dollars. That wouldn't have helped me. Number 3, you're not an imposter just because you lack traditional credentials. Number 4, you can network with anyone on Twitter without having a Harvard degree. And 5, experiential and education still have value. College will likely look different in the future, and online learning with communities is growing rapidly. This is why Hormozy is going all in on school, and we've seen these products pop up because there is a need for them. Now, do I think a Harvard degree is worthless? That's up for debate. You do learn a lot, you do meet people, but it does cost a lot of money. Besides that, let's connect the dots before our last shift. Where people are working doesn't matter anymore. Skills are democratized, advantages expire fast, everyone can code, and education credentials are less and less important. This all leads to the final structural shift that has the biggest implication. Shift 6. We are entering a conductor-musician economy. Think of an orchestra. You have the conductor. This is a person who waves the baton, who guides the entire performance. Then you have the musicians. These are the people playing instruments who create the actual song and music, or the output. This is very similar to the traditional workforce. In the old world, you would have managers or conductors that managed people, the musicians. But in the new world, music is played by AI and robots, and it's on people to be the conductor. Here's an example. Let's say you were an engineer at a tech company. About a year ago, your manager would tell you to do something, and then you'd go and write the code to do it. But now you go and tell AI to do it, taking on a conductor role. This mental shift is very, very important. To make money online in 2025, you have to be able to have a high output. And the best way to do this is to try and become a conductor in everything you do. Let me walk you through an example. To help me better produce content and have AI speak more like me, I have to scrape data online. And previously I would do this manually, but here's an N8N flow where it looks at different data sources and pulls them into my personal data lake. I use a manual process that is now done through automated workflows. It used to be the musician, now I am the conductor, having AI do it for me. But this trend is bigger than just automation tools. This conductor shift is creating the next wave of billion-dollar companies. Here's some proof. Let's look at Drake's recent album launch. Instead of hiring expensive influencer managers, he used a platform called WAP to pay creators directly. Here's how it worked. If people made a TikTok dancing to Drake's song and it gets 10K views, you'd get $100. Simple. Drake wants people to hear his songs, he's paying creators to do it. But here's the genius part. Drake eliminated an entire job. In the normal influencer marketing world, you'd have Drake's team, an influencer marketing manager who gets paid to find these creators to make these videos, and then the creators that make the content. Now, in this case, it's Drake's team, the platform, which handles everything automatically, and then the creators, effectively cutting out the middleman. The platform became the conductor, the creators, the musicians, the manager, gone. And this is a microcosm of things that are going on everywhere. Platforms are systematizing what used to require human managers and taking a cut for this transaction instead. It's all in an effort to remove the manager. And if you're looking for direct business ideas, find an industry with an expensive middleman, build a platform that removes them, profit from this efficiency. Some industries with expensive middlemen that come to mind are real estate, recruiting, event planning, all ripe for platform disruption. Here's what this all means for you and how you need to take advantage to make money online in 2025. And these 6 shifts aren't happening in isolation. They're creating a perfect storm of opportunity. Shift 1, international talent is now accessible to everyone. Shift 2, AI democratized creative work. Anyone can create content. Shift 3, competitive advantages expire in weeks, not years. Move quickly and iterate. Shift 4, if you want an effective online business, you need to become technical. Shift 5, traditional education is being replaced by AI-powered learning, removing any educational barriers. Shift 6, you have to think about the conductor-musician model and how you can orchestrate AI to run your business. And if you want a checklist for things that I would do right now, first, I'd try hiring internationally. Post a test project on onlinejobs.ph today, and if you hire right, it'll be the best investment you ever make. And if you still have a full-time job, they can help you with anything. So don't think that you need an existing business for you to take advantage of this. 2, go and experiment with an AI content tool. Pick Sora, Higgsfield, or Runway and create 10 pieces of content. 3, learn the basic technical skills that I outlined and use the prompts that I used earlier in this video to learn the foundation. Number 4, think about what you do in your day-to-day that you can create an automated tool to do so you can start orchestrating AI to work for you. 5 is move fast. Your window to capitalize on these things shrinks quickly, and the longer you wait, the less of an opportunity there will be. The bottom line is these shifts require action. And if you got this far, you're ready to act, which means you'll love this video on 6 specific AI tools you can use to help quit your job. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.